This episode of Total Drama Reviews contains clips from Total Drama Action. I do not own Total Drama Action. All rights go to FreshTV. Remember to be civil and do not be me in the comments. Seriously, it can get really messed up. Carpe diem, my name is Ultranatic, and this is Total Drama Reviews. This is where I, as a lover of animation and reality shows, look over the show that combine them together the best. And today we're looking over the episode entitled One Flew Over the Cuckoos. Referencing the Jack Nicholson film, we're tackling the genre of medical dramas, which is technically more of a TV genre, but there do exist films on the subject too. And in this episode, our characters will be committing the crime of impersonating a doctor.
You can't impersonate a doctor. It's against the law. I'm not impersonating a doctor, I'm pretending to be one.
Alright, it's perfectly fine to pretend for the sake of a challenge. Besides, worse crimes were committed in the last episode, the Chef Shank redemption. The biggest one being that episode was written at all. So can this episode heal an open wound? Or will it be a horrible case of malpractice? We'll grab your first aid kit with extra bandages, just in case we need it. This is One Flew Over the Cuckoos. We open immediately after the last award ceremony with Izzy officially being back in the game, much to the annoyance of the gaffers.
I can't believe they let Izzy back. They totally negated our numbers advantage, and that's the only advantage we had.
Rewind.
Justin, I can hear them way ahead of us.
Chill. Gwen's throwing the game, remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah, okay. What do you say we ratchet this operation back a notch, huh?
They totally negated our numbers advantage, and that's the only advantage we had.
You sure that's your only advantage? Even with Izzy back on their team, the grips suck. Speaking of callbacks to last episode, the contestants go from being locked in their trailers to being locked out of them. Again, probably typical for Duncan.
Wait, let me try it. Cops!
You're bringing in an ambulance now of all times?
My leg!
You have the timing of Turbo Thunder from Wishology.
I, Turbo Thunder, the chosen one, have completed my training. Where's the big scary space hole? There's supposed to be a big scary space hole. Am I late?
Ew, what is that? A dead body?
Or an undead body.
No, it's just Chris playing dead, man. I wish he wasn't playing. As he announces their next challenge.
These textbooks hold the sum total of 8 years of med school. To win this challenge, you're gonna want to memorize the entire contents of these textbooks by morning.
I'd say no one can learn 8 years of med school that quickly, but given what happens in Patch Adams, I suppose anything is possible from that, based on a true story.
What med school all-nighter would be complete without pizza? Med school interns consume 850% more pizza than the average human. Dig in, because there's plenty more where that came from. Looks okay, smells okay, tastes incredible.
How is that even possible?
Keep them coming.
I am good.
Well, if he's playing his Mama Spy / Pot in those pies, of course they'd like him.
My team's gonna wonder where I am.
Not as long as they're eating, they won't.
Also, I've criticized too many times how often Chef keeps DJ away from the competitors and how suspicious that looks, so I'm just gonna hold off any more Chef DJ Alliance criticisms until next episode, when we'll need them. So all of the characters begin studying.
Do I squint when I read?
I'll just read the book to you. Spare your beautiful eyes.
Strike that. All of the characters except Justin, who again wants to do anything that doesn't involve work to win $1 million, total insult to the game. And during this cram session, they all enjoy the pizza, except for one character.
Aren't you having any, Lashana?
I love pizza, but me and Derry do not agree. And brother, you do not want to be around for that.
Is that why you didn't eat the pizza from Brunch of Disgustingness, topped with live grasshoppers, jellyfish sauce, and live anchovies?
Okay, you know what? I can't be doing this. Little grasshopper minding his own business. What I want to go and bite his little head off for?
Okay, good. The dairy have been your biggest problem with that pizza, then you need to re-examine your priorities. LaShawn and Duncan decide to ditch studying. Heck, they studied more than Justin, at least. And LaShawn gives Duncan a proposal.
Now that Gwen's gone, we've got to watch our backs around Heather. I was thinking, what if you, me, and Harold form an alliance?
LaShawn, were you paying attention to anything between those two last season or even this season? The odds of Duncan and Harold working together at this point in the competition are about the same as The Flash and Captain Cold.
Gosh, that is so not cool.
All right, you two, separate.
He's lucky I didn't pull a karate move on him.
I love karate.
I love carrot cake.
I love money,
I hate all of you.
All I want is an ironclad alliance to get Heather out of my face.
I mean, if your main goal is to oust Heather eventually, how about an alliance between one of those two and DJ then? In fact, we know DJ and Duncan are solid, why not go for that as a trio? Oh, right, because DJ's already got Chef for an alliance, and apparently in this show, having multiple alliances just isn't a thing. Silly me thinking they do something often done in Survivor. What show do I think I'm watching?
Ready for today's big challenge? Let's take it inside. Today's reward challenge is called Visiting Hours, and only one member of the winning team will get to enjoy the reward.
Okay, that's an interesting idea, having only one person win a reward challenge during team division. That has been done in other reality shows, and it does give an indicator of who the best competitors likely are.
If only one of us gets the prize, why even bother trying to win?
A challenge is a challenge. It's one for all and all for one.
Also, if you don't try winning, you'll be like TDA Trent or the Grips from last episode, and God help if you try being like them.
These tanks contain the dismembered parts of two identical cadavers. Each player will climb their respective team ladder, strap on the bungee cord, and jump into the tank with hopes of retrieving a body part. Any parts you find will be snapped in place on the platform. Use those chains to raise them all the way to the roof, where they'll be reanimated by a blast of lightning. First team to bring a Frank and Chris to life wins. First crack goes to the team who can tell me how to treat someone with a bean stuck up their nose.
Put a nasal aspirator up their nostril?
Ooh! Ooh! Administer 2 cc's of pain meds and probe the affected area with a sterile swab.
Correctamundo!
Yes!
That's clearly wrong. What, a second opinion? Okay, fine, I'll wait.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the electric eels. 3 zaps and you're out.
Got it!
Next question. Your patient has an itchy red inflammation on their butt. Diagnosis?
Diaper rash. Apply salve repeatedly to achieve humectant dispersion.
Yes!
Not a medical student, but that treatment also sounded wrong. Who are you, Gregory House? I was being rhetorical, Jimmy Plankton. We all know who you are. That's my Steven Universe review.
Got it. Next question. Your patient's got a white tongue, red eyes, and they're oozing gooey crime. Diagnosis?
Well, the answer to that one's pretty obvious. Zombie, have you noticed I don't listen to anything you say anymore? He really hates that song.
Pinkish Iacus. Treat with 2 rounds of flopperty gibbets.
Smells like earwax?
Pineapple-itis.
Fur between the toes?
Stick 2 horse feathers up the whiz bang!
Okay, you're starting to see a pattern too, right? Obviously, false answers being counted as right. Who the heck wrote these medical books?
I messed around with some of the terms in the textbook.
Oh. Oh, this challenge might very well be genius then. Yeah, this competition is one I really like, mixing the trivia game with the courage testing task. It actually reminds me of the challenges from Dog Eat Dog.
Our next challenge tonight is a balance between brains and brawn. One of you will jump from that platform and try to grab that ring. Every time you answer a trivia question correctly, we'll move that ring a little bit closer to you.
But yeah, the comedy especially comes from A, the amount of times people get shocked by those electric eels. And B, just the absurdity of some of these answers, which we begin hearing without the questions preceding them.
Waka waka 2x4!
Sissy Pants McGee.
Seriously, let's hear some of those questions again and just put random answers after them.
First crack goes to the team who can tell me how to treat someone with a bean stuck up their nose.
Riding a brown horse. That's amazing, and it's wrong.
Your patient has an itchy red inflammation on their butt. Diagnosis?
Texas, Steve. Texas. Texas.
Your patient's got a white tongue, red eyes, and they're oozing gooey crime.
Origami. Gamal Abdul Nasser.
Oh, shut up.
Tulips. Bobby Rings.
We get to the end of the challenge with both teams hoisting their cadavers, but there's one little issue. We're only just over halfway done with the episode. So what else is supposed to happen?
Ew, what's this icky sore? Oh, and you're burning up.
Aren't those symptoms of one of the diseases in the book?
Mortistical Crumples disease! And it's fatal!
Mortistico Crumples isn't just fatal, it's highly contagious.
Oh, so we're switching from medical drama to outright zombie flick. Yep, the challenge comes to a screeching halt as the characters realize this disease is rampant among them, with Owen being quarantined followed by DJ.
It's gotta be some kind of mistake.
Followed by a scene of all the symptoms being labeled and coincidentally cutting to a player who has the one being mentioned.
Symptoms of Mortatistico Crumple's disease include explosive diarrhea, itchy lips.
First you develop this uncontrollable itch, then the loss of logic, cartoony circles around the eyes.
Sudden hot flashes, seasickness.
Cocaine, side effects were paranoia, ninjas on the lawn. I remember that. Marijuana, side effects were laughter, frosted flakes. That's all I remember.
Temporary blindness. I'm blind!
Lazy eye, fruit flies, chest pains, clogged veins, hemorrhoids, dry heaving, and sexual dysfunction.
Speaking in tongues.
I don't think that's a symptom. I think that's just Izzy being Izzy.
I know it's meant to be dangerous and all, but it's still a TV show. No way they'd actually let somebody up and die in here.
Hello? I mean, no, the characters flat just don't die in this show, but the show is more than happy putting them in situations where they could all the same. Speaking of which, for anyone wondering why I haven't added anything to the counter yet, trust me, I've learned the value of patience in this episode. He really hates that song.
We need to get our hands on one of those textbooks.
Good idea, except Chris sealed off the only exit.
Not the only exit.
I'm not a huge fan of heights.
Your first task is to jump off this 1,000-foot high cliff into the lake.
I'm not a huge fan of heights.
Continuity? What's that? They make it out, and Duncan goes to grab a textbook while Ashana has a plan B.
Namely, if someone is too nice to you, there has got to be a reason. And you just know it ain't gonna be pretty.
We cut back to the infected where...
Do not pop that bubble.
My lips! My lips!
Maybe they feel better if I press mine against them just once before I die.
Yeah, my problems with Beth stem from more than just her pseudo-nice girl stick.
Wow, Gwen, you're going even faster than Trent ever could.
But to the scene's credit, several funny things happen too, especially with Heather making out her will.
To my mother, I leave you all my many awards and trophies. To my brothers and sisters, I leave you nothing. Earn it yourselves, you lazy slackers.
Again, she's actually working for the $1 million, so this really fits in character for her. Duncan and Lashana return, and you're gonna be so shocked by this plot twist. The medical textbooks are fake!
The book covers are really just old cereal boxes.
Uh-oh.
Mother of mercy! No one's faking being sick.
No, but it's still a hoax. I just went to Chef's Kitchen where I found this cheese.
What's in that canister I've never seen before? Parmesan?
No, itching powder and laxative.
That explains the diarrhea and itchy lips.
Ah, so since all of them except Lashana ate that pizza... My leg! Hey, I learned patience, and so all of you. Selena... Yeah, some might just grow on me. Oh, who am I can't? It sucks. However, this does beg a number of questions. One is the sores, which are revealed to be pepperoni slices.
I see another sore on DJ. It's just a slice of pepperoni. Brother needs to shower.
Not only could I guess that when I first saw this over a decade ago, but didn't either of you try picking at those red sores? Seriously, those pizza toppings might as well be edible band-aids. Just tear them off and you're good. And two, if the itching powder and laxative explain 2 of the symptoms, why did only 3 characters get those symptoms?
Oh no! My lips! They're on fire!
Uh-oh. Mother of mercy! I mean, I guess those ingredients could explain Heather's vomiting as well, but still no one else except for the case of the runs or itchy lips? Those were conveniently selective side effects.
Now let me out of this bubble! Don't pop that either!
Wait, stop! You can't...
Oh, fresh air!
Oh, stale air!
But what about the other symptoms? First year med school syndrome! Too much studying and too little sleep can make you think you've got every disease in the book!
Oh, well I guess that explains Harold's blindness and Beth's hot flashes. Actually, that was probably just her attraction to Justin, which she exhibited signs of earlier.
I'll just read the book to you, spare your beautiful eyes. Is it getting hot in here?
I want to make it clear, my issue isn't that she has an attraction to Justin. Hell, everyone in this show has an attraction to Justin.
Yo.
What can I say? Kid's hot.
My problem is...
My lips!
Maybe they feel better if I press mine against them.
how far her attraction goes given who she is, which I'll address later, but for now, let's get to the end.
Congratulations, Screaming Gappers! You just won the challenge! For your reward...
That's my mama!
Ooh, and that's my best cousin!
Yep, one of you gets a whole spa night away from this cruddy studio lot with your very best friend. Who's the lucky Steph?
I was the one who wants.
I'm sorry, it's been so stressful.
Wow, that is the fakest crying I've seen in this show since... Yeah, that. But apparently it won her team over and she has a spa date with a concept drawing of herself. It's like TMNT Forever, except a lot more awkward given they're the exact same voice actress. And Novi Edwards' attempts to differentiate her voice between the two are less than great.
Listen, Nick! Girl, I cannot believe you've been crying. You never cry. Not even at Mr. Bunny Rabbit's funeral.
Next, you'll be telling me these two aren't the same voice actor. Gasp! Oh, and even bigger gasp, her crying was fake. This episode is throwing me for so many loops.
I was just making sure they'd vote me the heck out of here for the night. I knew it was too fool to be true.
Yeah, this scene is clearly homaging a certain moment from the 7th season of Survivor.
One of you gets a whole spa night away from this cruddy studio lot with your very best friend.
Reward is your loved one gets to come back to camp with you for 24 hours. They'll eat with you, they'll drink, they'll live in your camp. For the rest of you, bye-bye to the loved ones.
Who's the lucky Steph?
I was the one who wants.
I'm sorry, it's been so stressful. I thought I was gonna lose you fighting for your lives. It's just all been too much.
Oh, dude, how's Grant? Huh? How's Grant? She died, dude.
John, you went from really happy to really sad.
It was either going to be my buddy or my grandmother coming, and my grandmother's not here for a reason.
Wow, you actually do have a heart.
And Lashana did solve the challenge. I nominate her to win the reward. All in favor? Aye!
John's news is, it's the worst day of his life. I've got to let him hear it through.
Got to. We all support that.
That was a brilliant performance, sir. Like that? Yeah, thank you. Did you like mine? I couldn't cry. I tried. I brought on a couple tears for you. It was sweat. My grandmother's sitting home watching Jerry Springer right now.
You never cry. Not even at Mr. Bunny Rabbit's funeral. You nuts? I was just making sure they'd vote me the heck out of here for the night. I knew it was too fool to be true.
Although more accurately, it reminds me of a scene from a much later season of Survivor.
Kim's good, right? That's baby okay.
She was scared to death.
Are you okay?
So, Brandy, the message you gave Todd is that your sister lost the baby, but your sister herself is doing all right.
She's doing good. She's doing good.
That's all that matters.
Todd was going for the Oscar with his performance of my sister had a convenient miscarriage. And then, of course, Jeff was like, Todd, it looks like you just got some bad news. What happened? And Todd's like, my sister, she was pregnant and she lost the baby, but it happened for a reason. Like, that is not like the fake Johnny Fairplay, my grandma died. You can almost forgive that. That's funny.
Whatever, she earned her spot visit fair and square and the episode ends. So that was One Flew Over the Cuckoos. What did I say last episode about these guys being doctors? I think this episode made me physically sick. It's someone pointing to a good doctor.
Calling Dr. Howard. Dr. Fine. Dr. Howard.
Ha ha ha, very funny. Can you point me to better doctors than those?
Morning, competitors! Or should I say, doctors!
Marginal improvement? I take it back. This episode was a substantial improvement. The challenge was creative and crazy, the comedy was hilarious, the characters were overall vastly improved since last time, and Lashana was an absolute standout as a moral compass with a strong strategic mind and enough personality for her own show. If I had to find flaws, a few characters were still pieces of work and we did get a handful of plot holes, but none of those things take away the enjoyment I got from this doctor's visit. If the Shevchenko redemption was me getting a shot, then this episode was the lollipop I got at the end. Although, it is a little weird we went from medical drama to zombie flick in the middle, especially considering that next episode... We've got a different kind of horror to tackle.